Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you all are doing great. I'm doing okay. Today we're going to be making a number card in Canvas Workspace, Canvas Workspace. I'm working on a downloadable version of Canvas, not the online version. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come over. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, so we're going to just do a quick look about. So you go File, New. A new window will pop up for you. Then you're going to go to Shapes and text. The T is for text and the circle and rectangle are for shapes. And we are going to select a rectangle. This is, in my opinion, I think that they have made this really easy for people like myself. So I'm going to select the one that has the corner rounded um, versus the sharper edges, the pointed edges. So I have my rectangle and I'm going to select edit, which is this button right here, the square with the arrow in there. I'm going to change my width to 7 and my height will be 5. We're making a 5 by 7 card. And now I'm going to select it again and I'm going to go to where it says fill color, the paint, the little bucket that looks like a paint can, and I'm going to change it. The only reason why I'm changing the color is so that you can see it a lot better, I hope. And so now I just picked gray, not a big deal. I'm going to move this to the side. I always try to do whatever I want to do. Like if I'm going to be editing a lot of stuff, I move all the stuff that I'm not going to work on off to the side. Now I'm going to select T. I'm going to select a good number, a good font. This picks up all the font on your computer so you don't have to like install anything like you would on online version. And I'm going to just select something that's solid, like a good solid. Um, we're going to use Lucida Sans typewriter, and I'm just going to make it stay regular, keep it regular, and I'm just going to press my left cursor inside of the on the mat, and I'm going to type 60, and I'm going to, so once I type 60, if I click off, it will click off and nothing will be highlighted. So I'm going to left click and I'm going to drag it open, make it larger, and you can see on the side how it's changing. And then I'm just going to make it larger, and for continuity, I'm going to go to change the width to 7, height to 5. Okay, so it's changed. Again, I'm going to select this once more, and I am going to pick another color. Um, there we go. So now that it's highlighted, I'm going to scroll down to where it says process overlap, and I'm going to select divide. Now my numbers are divided because I need for my numbers to move freely. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select both of them again, and I'm going to go to align objects, and I'm going to align them at the top. The reason why I want them aligned at the top is because I need to connect my 60 to my rectangle. Now that I have it aligned to the top, I'm going to left click and I'm going to use my left arrow key and I'm going to scoot the number over. So I'm going to scoot 0 over to 6 onto the 6, just a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything. I'm going to right click and I'm going to select duplicate. If you are working on the Canvas workspace online, all you need to do is press D. Also, I'm going to select my rectangle and I'm going to right click and press D as well. The reason why I did the numbers separate is in case I mess something up, I'll have the original numbers and I can go back and delete the number that I messed up, okay? If you're more familiar with Canvas, you can do whatever method that you prefer. So now I'm going to left click, highlight both the 6 and the 0. I'm going to go back down to process overlap and I'm going to weld them together. Now that I have my 60 welded together, I'm going to right click once more and I'm going to select duplicate and I'm going to move it out the way. Now I'm going to make my 60 come down to the bottom and I'm going to bring in my card base, the bottom portion. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight both of them and I'm going to center them. The 60 is much smaller than the rectangle, of course, and that's fine, no big deal. So now you can see that once it's highlighted, it's going to tell us our width is still 7 inches, but now our height is 9.5, which is great because it should still fit in your 5x7 card. And now you can see that the 60 is definitely touching the rectangle, so I'm going to highlight it again, and I'm going to go scroll back down over here to where it says process overlap, and I'm going to select weld, and there's our card. When you print this off, you just need to make sure that you have enough, in my opinion, enough space to fold this down that it's not like flapping in the wind and it doesn't look really crazy. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now is, because we did make a 5x7 card, that means that this card is 7 by 9 inches, and you only have, if you have the older ScanNCut, which I do, I have a ScanNCut 2 for more practicality versus the ScanNCut 3, which is the DX. I have a CM350. I have the basic model. You have to figure out, your paper, 12 by 12 paper or whatever. But remember, this square is also 5 by 7. You can try to finagle it and make it work, but it may not work in that. You can make it smaller. So now what I normally do is I will take my product of what I want to do, and I want to mat this because this piece, your whole entire card base may be something, the paper may be a little bit more flimsy, or it could be more sturdier, and your overlays could be more flimsy. And just when I say flimsy, I mean like less weight. Now that I have this, I'm going to again right click. I don't want to mess this up. So I'm going to right click and duplicate it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on my card base. I'm going to select arrange, and I'm going to send this to the back because now it's not important. What's important is what we're going to overlay on it. If you can visualize that this is actually the back, the blue portion is the back of the card, where the inside is, you can't see it. We're going to just resize this overlay so that it fits in, if you want to make a white card base. There you go, and now you have that. And it doesn't matter because when you glue it down or tape it down, however you glue it or center it, that's where you're going to be with that one. Okay, so there you have it. And now we're going to take our 60, and I want to change the color just so it doesn't look too funky. We're going to make it gray as well. And the 60, if you want people to know that you taped it, you can. I really don't want that, so I will right click again and duplicate. You can duplicate as many times as you want. And I'll tell you why I duplicate once we do this. So I made an easel card. So right here, if you really wanted to, you could center and find your center space right here and do some cut lines. I really don't like the cut lines. I just prefer to fold it on my own, on my scoring board. But now you have your card base, which is the blue, and then you have your two pieces that you would put on top of your card to make it look nice. Now, the reason why I always do this is just an old habit. So we're going to highlight everything and we're going to move this out the way. So the reason why I have all these extra pieces is because I like to save all of my work as one unit first. So everything I would save, I would go over, I would click File, Save As, and I would give it a name, okay? Birthday card 60, number card, or something like that. And once I do that, I would come back over here and get rid of all of this stuff, the excess. So highlight and delete, and it goes bye-bye. And now what I would do is I would take all of these pieces, even though they're too big for the mat, I would still go File, and I would send it. You can import it to your computer or you can import it to your machine. My machine is not on right now, so it's not going to catch up with it, or you can export the file. If you select export, it's just going to go onto your computer wherever you have saved, and then you can transfer it to your PC. I hope that this helps. I plan on making more and that I can play around with the offline version on my computer, and I figured out how I can record my voice as well. I want to say thank you all for watching, and until next time, Happy crafting.